ahead, would you like me to read the epilogue of this book?
Please.
I am so alive as I stand facing the beauty of the never-ending Pacific Ocean. A late afternoon breeze blows
Pacific
down
Ocean
from the
does end,
hills
though.
behind. Shut up, Evan. As always, it is a beautiful day. The sun is making its final descent. The magic is about to begin. The skies are ready to burn with brilliance as it turns from a soft blue to a brilliant orange. Ow.
Reprise.
Looking towards the west, I stare at the hypnotic power of the waves. A giant curl begins to take form, then takes breath with a thundering clap as it crashes on the shore. An invisible mist hits my face. Moments before, the white foamy water nearly drowns my feet. The bubbling foam quickly recedes to the power of the surf. Suddenly, a piece of driftwood washes onto shore. It has an odd, twisted shape. The wood is pitted yet smooth and bleached from its time in the sun. I bend down to pick it up. As my fingers begin to reach out, the water catches hold, dragging the wood back out to sea. For a moment, it looks as if the wood is struggling to stay ashore. It leaves a trail behind before reaching the waters, where it bobs violently before giving into the ocean. How's that for intro? I marvel at the wood, thinking how it reminds me of my former life. My beginning was extremely turbulent, uh, being pushed and pulled in every direction. The more grisly my situation became, the more I felt as if some immense power were
We're
sucking me into
sucking.
some giant undertow. I fought as hard as I could, but the cycle never seemed to end, till suddenly, without warning, I broke free. I'm so lucky. My dark past is behind me now. As bad as I was, I knew even back then, in the final analysis, my way of life would be up to me. I made a promise to myself that if I came out of my situation alive, I had to make something of myself. I would be the best person that I could be. Today I am. I made sure I let go of my past, accepting the fact that part of my life was only a small uh that part of my life was only a small fraction of my life. I knew the black hole was
The
out
black
there waiting to
people.
suck me in. Shut up, Evan. And forever control my destiny, but only if I let it out. I took positive control over my life. I'm so blessed. The challenges of my past have made me immensely strong inside. I adapted quickly, learning how to survive from a bad situation. I learned the secret of internal motivation. My experience gave me a different outlook on life that others may never know. I have a vast appreciation for things that others may take for granted. Along the way, I made a few mistakes, but I was fortunate enough to bounce back. Instead of dwelling on the past, I maintained the same focus that I had taught myself years ago in the garage, knowing the good Lord was always over my shoulder, giving me quiet encouragement and strength when I needed it most. My blessings also mean having the opportunity to meet so many people who had a positive impact on my life. The endless sea of faces prodding me. Uh, wait. Prodding me, teaching me to make the right choices, and helping me in my quest for success. They encouraged my hunger to prevail. Branching out on a different level, I enlisted in the United States Air Force, discovering historical values and instilled sense of pride and belonging that until then I had never known. After years of struggle, my purpose became clear. For above all, I came to realize that America was truly the land where one could come from less than humble beginnings to become a winner from within. An explosive pounding of the surf brings me back to reality. The piece of wood I've been watching disappears into the swirling waters. Without further hesitation, I quickly turn away and head back towards my truck. Moments later, I raced my Toyota through the snake like turns, driving to my secret utopia. Years ago, when I lived in the dark, I used to dream about my secret place. Now whenever I can get away, I always return to the river. After stopping to pick up my precious cargo at the Rio Villa in nearby Monte Rio. Wow, I can't speak. I'm back on the lane back blacktop. For me, it is a race against time. The sun is about to set, and one of my lifetime dreams is about to come true. As I enter the serene city of Guerneville, uh, the forerunner truck goes from a Mach-like speed to that of a snail. I tap on the brakes before turning right onto Riverside Drive. With the windows rolled down, I fill my lungs with sweet, purified air from the towering redwoods that gently sway back and forth. I bring the white Toyota to a stop in front of the same home where a lifetime ago my family and I stayed during our summer vacations. One 17426 Riverside Drive. Like many things, the house too has changed. Years ago, two tiny bedrooms were added behind the fireplace. A vague attempt of expanding the tiny kitchen was made before the flood of 1986. Even the mighty tree stump, where years ago my brothers and I spent endless hours climbing on, is now in decay. Only the cabin's darkened cedar ceiling and the riverstone fireplace have been left unchanged. I feel a little sad as I turn away, strolling across the small gravel road, then making sure not to disturb anyone. I lead my son, Stephen, through a tiny passage behind the same house that my parents led my brothers and me through years ago. I know the owner, and I'm sure you wouldn't mind. Without saying a word, my son and I gaze westward. The Russian River is the same as it always was.
Russia? That sounds like communism.
No, it's not.
Sounds
Believe
like the
me.
Skull Heart.
Dark green and as smooth as glass as it flows ever so gently into the mighty Pacific. Blue jays call to each other as they glide through the air before disappearing into the redwoods. The sky above is now bathed with streaks of orange and blue. I take another deep breath and close my eyes, savoring the moment like I did years ago. As I open my eyes, a single tear rolls down the side of my cheek. I kneel down, wrapping my arms around Stephen's shoulders. Without hesitation, he leans his head back and gives me a kiss. Love you, Dad. Love you too, I reply. My son gazes up at the darkening sky. His eyes grow wide as he strains to capture the disappearing sun. It's my favorite place in the whole world, Stephen announces. My throat becomes tight. A small stream of tears begins to fall. Mine too, I reply. Mine too. Stephen is at that magical age of innocence, but yet is wise beyond his years. Even now, as salty tears run down my face, Stephen smiles, letting me maintain my dignity, and he knows why I'm crying. Stephen knows my tears are tears of joy. Love you, Dad. Love you too, son. I'm free.